There's this incredibly powerful, absolutely crucial, and yet often completely overlooked part of your body. It acts as an unsung hero day in and day out. But when things go wrong, it can become a major hidden culprit for your pain. So let me ask you this. That nagging lower back pain you might feel from time to time, are you 100% sure it's actually coming from your spine? Because get this, for up to 30% of people, the answer is a very surprising no. All right, so let's play detective here. Let's investigate that surprising culprit. We're going to zero in on the sacroiliac joint. You'll hear it called the SI joint, that powerful connection point right where your spine meets your pelvis. Okay, so first things first, let's get properly introduced to this remarkable structure. I want you to think of the SI joint as the absolute keystone of your entire pelvic foundation. The name itself is actually a dead giveaway. Sacro is for the sacrum, that's the triangular bone at the very base of your spine, and iliac is for the ilium, which are those big wing-like bones of your pelvis. This thing is the critical bridge that transfers all the weight from your upper body down into your legs, absorbing shock with every single step you take. And seriously, that keystone analogy, it's spot on. Just like the central stone that holds a whole arch together, its number one job is to create incredible stability. This joint was never designed for big, sweeping movements, like your shoulder or your hip. Nope, its whole purpose in life is to be a rock-solid foundation. And just how stable are we talking about? Well, its entire range of rotational motion is, at most, a tiny 4 degrees. That's it. I mean, that's basically nothing. It is a stabilizer through and through. So how in the world does it achieve that kind of incredible stability with so little movement? Well, it all comes down to its secret weapon. It's this brilliant piece of engineering that allows the SI joint to literally lock itself in place, giving you all the support you need exactly when you need it. The joint stability really boils down to two incredible interconnected mechanisms. First, you've got form closure. That's all about its physical shape and how it fits together. And second, you have force closure, which is the active support system from all your muscles and ligaments. So, form closure is just pure structural genius. The sacrum itself is shaped kind of like a wedge that fits perfectly between the two iliac bones, and the surfaces aren't smooth, they're rough and irregular, which creates a ton of friction. This design naturally resists all those powerful shearing forces that happen when you walk and move. It's like a perfectly cut puzzle piece that just clicks into place. But then you've got force closure, and this is where things get really dynamic and active. Think of it like a dynamic support team. You have this whole network of deep core muscles, your powerful glutes, and super strong ligaments that basically wrap around the joint. When they contract, they actively squeeze it together, dramatically cranking up its stability on demand. So, you put form and force closure together, and what do you get? You get this incredible self-locking mechanism. The more load you put through it, whether you're lifting something heavy or just standing on one leg, the more stable it becomes. It is a truly brilliant system, which is exactly why it's such a huge problem when it fails. And yeah, that's exactly where the problems start. When this elegant system breaks down, the joint can become a major source of pain. And it generally happens in one of two ways. It's either too loose or too stiff. So on one side, you have hypermobility, which basically means the joint is too loose. This can happen from things like the hormonal changes during pregnancy or a ligament injury, and it just leads to this feeling of instability. Then on the complete other side, you have hypomobility, where the joint is too stiff or locked up. That's often from muscle imbalances, and it leads to localized pain and restricted movement. Both are just a system that's gotten out of balance. Okay, so how does all this actually look in our day-to-day lives? Because even with just those 4 tiny degrees of motion, the movements of the SI joint make a huge difference in how we get around. To really get what's going on, we need to talk about its 2 signature moves, nutation and counternutation. I know, they sound super technical, but stick with me for a second because the idea is actually pretty straightforward. All right, let's break them down. Nutation is when the top of your sacrum kind of nods forward and down. When that happens, it locks the pelvic bones closer together, creating that super stable, self-locked position you need when you stand up or lift something heavy. Counternutation is the exact opposite. The sacrum nods backward, the pelvis opens up a bit, and the joint unlocks. This is what's happening when you sit down or lie on your back. And this amazing, subtle dance between locking and unlocking, it's happening constantly, without you even thinking about it. When you walk, one SI joint is nutating while the other is counter-nutating, over and over. And that's what gives you a smooth, stable gait. When you bend over, it moves through both phases to absorb the load. It's these tiny, precise motions that make all of our larger movements possible.
All right, so after all of that, what's the big takeaway? What's the one thing you really need to remember from all this?
The crucial point is this. Your SI joint isn't just some passive chunk of bone sitting there. It's an intelligent, dynamic stabilizer. It's constantly working in the background, making tiny little adjustments to make sure every step you take and every object you lift is done with stability and efficiency.
And if there's one single sentence from all the research that sums this whole thing up, it's this one. The SIJ is not a mobile joint, but a stabilizer and load transmitter. That, right there, that's its entire purpose.
Which really leaves us with one final big question for you. Given its absolutely foundational role, could a better understanding of this joint and learning how to support your body's keystone properly be the real key to unlocking more stable, more powerful, and truly pain-free movement in your own life?